Okay, good afternoon or good day whenever you're watching this. Today I'll be walking through my mobile app development class final project. I made a smart alarm that sets challenges for you to accomplish before you can shut the alarm off. So first let's start with list of important Let's obviously some important packages. So actually, this alarm system was a bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be because to make an alarm system, you need to have notifications. You need to have services running in the background, mainly the alarm service, right, running in the background. Because this is because the app needs to still be able to deliver notifications while running in the background. So because of that, you need some special packages that are quite close to the Android part of the system. The interesting packages I use are share preferences. This is for storing alarms, plus all local notifications for leaving notifications, time zone. I needed this to get the time zone of the user, so I didn't want to hard code it. Android Intense Plus for this is for permissions, same with permission handler, same with lots of foreground tasks and audio players. And then I needed the pedometer. Audio players is to play the alarm within the app. I needed the pedometer to help track steps and sensors when we're shaking the alarm. And also speech to text. I use that for the math challenge. So the most important thing first is the alarm model. When we create an alarm, we set the hour, the minute, and the hour, the minutes because we don't really need seconds. Yeah, no one creates alarms that detailed. Then we have a label for the alarm, which we have a default label, which is just alarm. Then you have a wake challenge. A wake challenge is the challenge, whether or not you're walking, you're solving a math problem, or you are walking, solving a math problem, or you're shaking the phone vigorously. So you have a couple of yes, the functions here receives local storage. We delete from local storage here. Every alarm has an ID, which is a UUID. So UUID v4 is a randomly generated ID, which it includes some special characters and alphanumeric characters, and yeah, leave an update in local storage and get all alarms. Also cancel alarm, schedule alarm. So now this is important. So this uses the notification. Okay. I'll hit the it uses the notification, Flutter local notifications library that I talked about earlier, but we'll get there eventually. So this is the alarm class. Now we have a couple of services. These are the important services. So for time zone, this just allows us to get the time zone. That's all we need. Notification service. I said this uses the Flutter local notifications, the Flutter local notifications for package, sorry. And we need to first like set our notification. We need to first initialize our settings for notifications. So we're working with Android here. If we're working for iOS, we have a different setup for iOS because we're using mini Android. We work with Android here. So we need to set up the audio player, need something to loop, and we need to, we are looping this audio player. Yeah. This is what actually happens when you click on the alarm. So the audio player starts looping when you click on the notification, sorry. And then when everything is set, it then navigates you to either the math challenge, the walk challenge, or the shake challenge. These are the test notification function because this one had a lot of bugs to deal with. Okay, cool. So then we have the alarm service. This is what allows, so basically it works in the background. Although it says foreground, it's a bit confusing, but it works in the background. And what it means is that when the app is either in the background or maybe it's not even like running, it still allows your alarm to come on time. It still allows your alarm to come on time. Yeah. That's pretty much what it's for. Yeah. And it requires lots of permissions because you're working in the background. We need ignore battery optimization, the notification permissions. We had lots of interesting permissions that I needed. So now, I'm guessing we'll start with pages. The alarm task handler. This, I don't think I'm using this anymore, so I could probably delete this. No, actually, no, I am. I am. So when an alarm, no, actually, I'm not. I don't think I'm using this. So I had an approach to have the alarm sound be running in the background, but for some reason that wasn't working. That was what the alarm task handler was for. But then I decided to change the approach to just have it in the pages that we are moved to, the alarm sound will be running on those pages rather than in the background of the app. Yeah. So let's go to the pages. So we have the math challenge page. So basically, it generates a random number between 100, and then it says that as a problem. And then the user then, as we'll show in the demo, the user presses the microphone and the user has to say the answer. We we use the speech to text package for this, which gets, where is this? So we're listening, start listening, stop listening. Yeah, we use it here. Recognize. So what we do is we get the words and then we convert the words to, actually for numbers, it's not in words, we convert it to a number. So then so if you see 91, it would be number 9 and 1 rather than 91. So we convert it to a number, to words, and then we compare, and that's how we compare. And after that, the alarm stops if everything is fine. Yeah, the audio player stops. Cool. For the walk challenge, it should go away. Okay, so for the walk challenge, we use a pedometer. Max steps are 50, although I was considering making 25, but I think if you want to wake up, probably 50 steps walk. And then the pedometer listens, and then when we hit 50 steps or above 50 steps, we start the alarm. Is basically what's up. So the stream subscription. Basically, when an event happens, we want to continually keep updating. Like the event happened on the pedometer, right? And when the pedometer senses something, we want to continue updating the app, and we use the stream subscription to do that. So yeah, I think that was just the interesting part. We'll see. Yeah. And then for the shake challenge, basically you shake the phone a couple of times. Max shakes is 5. Yeah, so basically, we're using the accelerometer. So when you shake the phone is being accelerated, and we're doing a bunch of calculations, calculate these accelerations over here. And if the magnitude of the acceleration is greater than the shake threshold, which is 25, an arbitrary number, then we count it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So next up, I will show you a demo. Yeah. Also, here's our main. Yeah. So next up, I will show you a demo. I must say at first that this was an interesting project to work on. I learned a lot, and I think the interesting that I didn't know how much alarm systems, how close to the OS an alarm system has to be, because a lot of the packages I worked with, if I didn't use them, I would have had to have written like Android code. Yeah. And also the packages here are even specific to Android. So that's one thing that I learned about. And I also had quite some help with, AI systems to guide me in doing some of this, because there's a lot of new things that I've learned that I didn't learn from the class. So yeah. Uh, um, let's create an alarm. It is currently 10:15. So create one for, let's say, 10. 12, no, sorry, 10:17. We call it test alarm. So the idea is that when you wake up, you could do some challenges. There are three challenges: the math challenge, the walking challenge, and the shaking the alarm challenge. So shaking the phone challenge. So let's create the alarm. 10:17. We can delete it. We can enable and disable it. We can edit it. So yeah, let's start with the math challenge. So now we wait a bit for the alarm to go off. Any moment now. So when the alarm goes off, we would we'll be given a challenge to do. We chose the math challenge, so we'll have to deal with that before the alarm finally goes off. Alright, so the alarm has gone off. Now we are moved here. Yeah. And the alarm continues going on, so we need to answer the question first. So this is, where's my calculator? So the answer is 91, so let's say 91. 91. 91. Exactly. So it's worked. So now let's update the alarm and let's make it the walking challenge. So to get up, you need to walk a bit. So we update the alarm and wait for it to go off. So the walking challenge makes use of the pedometer. The math challenge makes use of microphone. Okay, so we have the alarm again. So now we have to walk 50 steps to get this thing to shut off. And I'm currently walking. Alright, so that was 50 steps and the alarm shut off. So now let's update the alarm one more time to check out the shake challenge. Then make it 10:19. This alarm. So this challenge basically you have to shake the phone vigorously a number of times. I think 5 times. Yeah. Check the alarm, which I'm doing. Check the phone, I mean. So cool, yeah. We shook the phone 5 times and the alarm went off. So that is demo. Thank you very much.